Welcome to Minds on Fire. Be yourself. Everyone else is already taken. To live is the rarest thing in the world. Most people exist. That is all. I can resist anything except temptation. The only way to get rid of a temptation is to yield to it. We are all in the gutter, but some of us are looking at the stars. I am so clever that sometimes I don't understand a single word of what I am saying. Experience is simply the name we give our mistakes. The truth is rarely pure and never simple. A cynic is a man who knows the price of everything and the value of nothing. Always forgive your enemies. Nothing annoys them so much. A gentleman is one who never hurts anyone's feelings unintentionally. I have nothing to declare except my genius. I am not young enough to know everything. Education is an admirable thing, but it is well to remember from time to time that nothing worth knowing can be taught. Fashion is a form of ugliness so intolerable that we have to alter it every 6 months. The only thing to do with good advice is to pass it on. It is never of any use to oneself. I think that God, in creating man, somewhat overestimated his ability. It is absurd to divide people into good and bad. People are either charming or tedious. The world is a stage, but the play is badly cast. The only difference between the saint and the sinner is that every saint has a past, and every sinner has a future. A little sincerity is a dangerous thing, and a great deal of it is absolutely fatal. I can believe anything provided it is incredible. I don't want to go to heaven. None of my friends are there. I like men who have a future and women who have a past. There is only one thing in the world worse than being talked about, and that is not being talked about. The old believe everything, the middle-aged suspect everything, the young know everything. Quotation is a serviceable substitute for wit. Life is too important to be taken seriously. The public is wonderfully tolerant. It forgives everything except genius. Some cause happiness wherever they go, others whenever they go. It is what you read when you don't have to that determines what you will be when you can't help it. I don't like compliments. They distract me from my flaws. A man can be happy with any woman as long as he does not love her. The world is divided into two classes, those who believe the incredible and those who do the improbable. True friends stab you in the front. In this world there are only two tragedies. One is not getting what one wants, and the other is getting it. One can always be kind to people about whom one cares nothing. The best way to make children good is to make them happy. One's real life is often the life that one does not lead. I am not in favor of long engagements. They give people the opportunity of finding out each other's character before marriage, which I think is never advisable. I have the simplest tastes. I am always satisfied with the best. I choose my friends for their good looks, my acquaintances for their good characters, and my enemies for their intellects. The good ended happily, and the bad unhappily. That is what fiction means. There is no sin except stupidity. It is better to have a permanent income than to be fascinating. In matters of grave importance, style, not sincerity, is the vital thing. Consistency is the last refuge of the unimaginative. Men marry because they are tired. Women because they are curious. Both are disappointed. The heart was made to be broken. Society often forgives the criminal. It never forgives the dreamer. No man is rich enough to buy back his past. Moderation is a fatal thing. Nothing succeeds like excess. Most people are other people. Their thoughts are someone else's opinions. Their lives a mimicry. Their passions a quotation. One should always be in love. That is the reason one should never marry. All art is quite useless. I never travel without my diary. One should always have something sensational to read in the train. To love oneself is the beginning of a lifelong romance. Illusion is the first of all pleasures. Ambition is the last refuge of the failure. Laughter is not at all a bad beginning for a friendship, and it is by far the best ending for one. There is luxury in self-reproach. When we blame ourselves, we feel no one else has a right to blame us. The imagination imitates. It is the critical spirit that creates. The only thing that one really knows about human nature is that it changes. Art is the most intense mode of individualism that the world has known. The mystery of love is greater than the mystery of death. A dreamer is one who can only find his way by moonlight, and his punishment is that he sees the dawn before the rest of the world. Society exists only as a mental concept. In the real world, there are only individuals. Every portrait that is painted with feeling is a portrait of the artist, not of the sitter. The world has grown tired of miracles. It is better to be beautiful than to be good, but it is better to be good than to be ugly. Selfishness is not living as one wishes to live. It is asking others to live as one wishes to live. The one charm about marriage is that it makes a life of deception absolutely necessary for both parties. The public have an insatiable curiosity to know everything, except what is worth knowing. There is no such thing as a moral or an immoral book. Books are well written or badly written.